Otto, you wanna go for a ride? Come on, bud, let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride. We're gonna take 8-ball. We're taking 8-ball today. Come on, bud, come here. Ready? Go ahead, good boy. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome to a pretty brisk day outside. Fortunately, today we are gonna be inside under the oh so comfortable Radiant 2 Peter here in the 60 by 80 pole building. And boys and girls, the vlog that y'all have been asking for forever is 8-ball content. I know it hasn't gotten much, but that's because we've been waiting on some parts to come in parts we were going to pick up today. Now, if y'all haven't heard, Dream Diesel giveaway number 22 is live, and it actually happens to be one of our shortest giveaways we've ever done, and it's Ghost. That truck right there that we hid from you guys for nearly a month. It was really hard to do it. It was well worth the wait, and it was well worth the reaction. You guys are so stoked about that Whirly Custom Fab S467.7 second gen swapped, fully built stage 2 Muldoon's trans, last of the great 4th gen body style Cummins, plus $30,000 that's up for grabs. And we wanted to launch with excitement, so we did 10 times entries that are still live for launch week that end at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 18th of January. And if you guys haven't caught the video yet, we did a full walkthrough of the entire build and the story of how that truck came into fruition and where it is today and where it might go to you in the future. But in short, to summarize, it's essentially a more modern, sleeker, sexier, and comfortable version of the oh so iconic 8-ball. Literally, it shares so many similarities, it's almost like 8-ball found a means to clone itself into a newer, more modern version. All right, so we are jumping in 8-ball today. We were out the other day. We had some fun with this thing. I had this idea to throw up on Instagram, somewhat making fun of the political climate that's going on in this country right now. One individual specific, I'm not gonna mention names because who knows, YouTube might kind of shadow ban me as well. I put it up, and in the first hour, it got shared more than the reel that I posted just a few days prior, almost double the amount of times, yet it's at 1/3 of the views. And you tend to wonder, truly, how much are things being filtered today when it's not against somebody else's benefit or agenda? But nonetheless, we had a really good time with 8-ball. We burnt the ever-living hell out of these rear tires. Luckily, I've got some new ones. They've been actually sitting in storage for quite a while, and we got to get them on the truck, which is why it's filthy right now. That's also why 8-ball exists. It's purely to have a ton of fun whenever we want, with truly not all that many worries. So we got to open up the big old 14 by 14 door here and get en route. We've got some parts to pick up, plus we've got a dog that's been eagerly awaiting and patiently waiting for his ride. Ready to go, bro? Where are you going? You got a whole seat for yourself, dude. Get back up here. Oh, good boy. All right, sit down, dude. Sit down. You know how to listen. And a paw. That's my dude. Y'all have no idea how satisfying it is to just sit here and stare at this garage door at this very moment in time. To most, it's just a black garage door with windows. To me, it's a dream come to life. That's a good boy. It's been a minute since I've had Otto out for a ride. Selfishly, he doesn't get as many rides as he should, and I feel like a bad dad. It's mostly just due to the fact that this dude sheds so much, and while 8-ball really just stays around for Otto rides, because at the end of the day, a happy dog is what makes the world go around, right, buddy? So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing something to 8-ball that this truck's needed literally since the day that I bought it, let alone now that it makes as much horsepower that it does. Honestly, I'm kind of somewhat embarrassed that I've pushed it off for this long, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and I had my eyesight set on 2 big turbos and making just a rowdy SOB that 8-ball is versus improving its steering and handling. So today, the set of mods that we're doing are going to improve the quality of the 3rd gen steering, and quality and 3rd gen steering probably shouldn't even go hand in hand. They just don't work out together. It's kind of like oil and water. 3rd gens are notorious for having sloppy ship-like steering, and 8-ball is no exception to that. If anything, 8-ball is the leader of that. The steering in this truck is absolutely atrocious. Unlike the steering wheel itself, though, from our friends at AZA Auto Wheel, this thing is glorious, and it's really motivated me to go out and, well, improve everything else that this wheel connects to, because I can't be holding on to this beautiful steering wheel without a beautiful steering experience. If you were to ask me one thing that I absolutely hate about 8-ball, it is the way that it drives. Not so much the power is badass, and that masks just how bad the steering is in this truck. Truthfully, it's to the point where I'll take it out for a little joyride around town, maybe just to paint some black lines on the road, but then when I get it back, I'm like, man, I gotta do something about this steering, so I'm really excited about just seeing how much of an improvement we are gonna make with the mods today. Ready, buddy? Otto's all about that no spin life, man. He prepares, he's in there, he's ready to rock and roll. He's embracing all that SRT10 bolstering to its fullest extent. It's like 20 degrees outside and Otto has no care in the world. As long as he's got that schnoz out the window, he is a happy camper. Was it too cold out there for you, dude? Up, and he's back. He's committed. My man's loyal, and he's back in. First things first, we gotta get some fluids. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some Lucas Oil, not sponsored by them, but some ATF Plus 4 automatic transmission fluid, which you can also use in your power steering system. We've also got an LMM DURTYMAX that was purchased from Linkage Automotive because it has Linkage plates on it. Would you imagine that? It's super cool driving around this local area, being a local enthusiast with all my local enthusiasts that I know follow, because you see the LRA plate plastered around a lot of the diesel trucks that were sold in the area. And boys and girls, that's awesome. It just makes me so happy. Pulling into none other than the local diesel hotspot itself, Linkage Automotive, where you can ever so conveniently discover Next Level Motorworks right in the old building. So greeted with a 4th gen friend, similar to Ghost, but not as unique. And the only bad part about that trick is you can't win it online with 30 grand. We've just got a really nice selection of trucks up here though. A lot of really clean Fords, Rams, GMCs, and Chevrolets. Speaking of Chevrolets, a brown high country with a pop cap, it just needs a set of 14 watts. Hang tight, buddy, I'll be right back. Good boy. Come on, let's just look at Otto right here chilling. You guys can't even see him. All right, buddy, thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, gotta aim for the top like, hello, yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better.
I still absolutely love the fact that right over here is a button that folds in the mirrors that are 4th gen style from our good friends at Boost Auto Parts. It makes it very, very nice.
Running in place, y'all really testing my patience. Right before I blow up the spot, I had to get back to the basics. What if my talent is wasted? And see what I'm lacking to place me. Thoughts as I rap in the basement.
All right, boys and girls, so today we're gonna be doing what is essentially a 4th gen conversion for 3rd gen Cummins trucks. So this is applicable to anybody that has an 03 to 09, 3rd gen 25 or 3500, and that are suffering from what is called, what I would deem death wobble. I mean, death wobble in 8-ball is pretty bad. I haven't actually gotten the wobble, the aggressive wobble itself, but it is really,
it's more of
like really bad.
A float than a wobble right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to let it get to the wobble.
Yeah, if there's any groove in the road, the truck wants to find it versus just stay in its own lane. Staying in its own lane, it very much doesn't do. We've tried blinders, but they don't work, so we figured we'd do the right thing and not, you know, band-aid the problem. So big thanks to Tyler down at Next Level Motorworks for coming through with all these parts for us. He's the one that sourced everything together. So today, in order to do this conversion, these are the parts that you're gonna need. So we've got by Moog the 4th gen steering linkage. We've got a Redhead steering box. This is the BD diesel steering box stabilizer, and then we've got a steering dampener by Fox to go along and tie everything all together.
You think that I'm running in place? Y'all really testing my patience. Right before I blow up the spot, I had to get back to the basics. What if my talent is wasted? And see what I'm lacking to place me. Thoughts as I rap in the basement, but my come up is legend, is greatness. I don't care now, it's pedal to the metal. I can never quit now, I will never settle. Puppet to the game, I'm pulling strings like Geppetto. We in the same game, but I'm on a different level. I passed it. Gotta keep grinding till I'm laid up in the casket. No fake round, but you feeling too plastic. Yeah, y'all feeling too plastic. They say my style crazy, but then it's straight jacket. Wow.
Why you still testing my patience? Trying to turn me into something I ain't trying to be. All that hate is a heavy rotation. You gon' lose yourself, quit testing me.
Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind, cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind, cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me. Cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me. Don't make me lose my mind, cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me.
Yeah, guess I know no better. I am just a man on a mission. If I want it, then I get it, I go. And if you're trying to test me a beast, you gon' need Liam Neeson. The chance that you take faking is flagrant. You're testing your luck. If you think you make it out, then you're sadly mistaken. Careful what you put in your stake in, cause I ain't got no patience and no limitations. You tryna figure me out and I know I don't make sense, but no one's there when you call like you're trapped in the matrix. You need to take a break from it, I think you should take 6. Cause yes, I hold a throne and no one else can replace this. The pain will only go deeper the harder you chase it. I'm the greatest that you ever met, it's time that you face it, so tell me.
Why you still testing my patience? Trying to turn me into something I ain't trying to be. All that hate is a heavy rotation. You gon' lose yourself, quit testing me.
Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind, cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind, cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me. Cause I'm looking like Wesley, test me.
All right, boys and girls, new day, and we've got the install complete. Jake had actually taken the truck out last night, and he said, Jack, you're gonna be thoroughly impressed when you get behind the wheel. And truthfully, I wanna get to there as fast as I can, but guys, I gotta show you a little bit of a comparison between the parts that we put on versus the part that came off, which is the part that this whole video is essentially titled around on the third gens that any third gen owners or aspiring third gen owners need to replace right away. And I'll tell you how much of an improvement it actually takes when I get out and drive the thing, but I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty big based on the excitement that Jake had expressed from his experience. We've got the drag link connected to the tie rod, but here in the third gens, it's kind of a unique setup because the drag link is part tie rod as well. You can see it is essentially one assembly, and then the other part of the tie rod is connected to the tie rod drag link thing, right? Yeah, I guess Dodge, they just wanted to overcomplicate something that could be made very simple, and I'll show you why. So if we get up under 8 ball now, you're gonna see some new and improved parts. Hopefully the lighting is decent. Oh, let me see. All right, the lighting is actually really terrible. All right, guys, now you'll be able to see we've got the Redhead steering box up in here. It's called Redhead because it has a red hat on it. Unfortunately, might be kind of hard to see, but you can see that little bit of red shining through right there. That's a really nice upgrade for the steering box. And then we come down to the pitman arm, which remained from the factory, that didn't have to change, to the drag link, which then comes down to the tie rod. But what you can see is the tie rod is actually an independent component and the drag link is separate from that. So the tie rod connects the left wheel with the right wheel and is one solid bar now versus the weird morphing drag link tie rod thing that the third gen engineers thought was brilliant, which it wasn't, because it didn't work well at all. Then we've got and then we also added in the BD steering brace, which is this massive bar right here that goes frame rail to frame rail and has the sway bar mount to, which then also connects to the pitman arm itself and the steering box to tighten up everything. I mean, we are nice and reinforced. So that being said, we should see a pretty good improvement in the handling and the feedback haptics of the steering wheel. I think we should go find out if that's actually true now. Here we go, boys. How about another start with 8 ball? Because if I didn't, I'd probably be cheating you guys of something very important. All right, guys, just pulling up the driveway here now, about to go out of the gate, and I'll tell you what, it already feels so much tighter. Beforehand, it was so bad. I can't even make it up, and I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but I really did not enjoy how 8 ball drove, and the driving experience that you get through the steering wheel makes or breaks the entire thing. Now, fortunately, this truck makes crazy horsepower and amazing sounds, and it's super fast, and you kind of have to hold on for dear life when you're driving it, so that kind of distracted me from those other things, but man, I'll tell you what, it was bad. And it's so much better now. I mean, we're talking, whoa. Now it's a solid axle truck, so obviously it's not gonna drive like anything independent front suspension. But this part of the road right here used to pull me like a rodeo, left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right, because of the truck traffic on it. I would have never been able to do this either. I would have been in those rocks right there. It's like I'm driving an entirely new truck. I'm not even kidding. This is unbelievable. Wow. Okay, all right. Why the hell did I wait so long to do this in the first place? What was I thinking? Wow, I am saying this is awesome. Okay, bridge. Now that we got that out of our system, it speaks for itself, guys. I don't even have to go into details of what it feels like other than the fact that it feels like it should. I have so much more confidence in this thing, and honestly, I'm a little mad at myself for waiting as long as I did to do it. I really just chalk it all up to the space that we didn't have when we were in the old building, because we had a project that was pretty much occupying the lift, versus now we've got so much more room for activities. So the steering box definitely tightened everything up. We've got fresh ATF plus 4 fluid in it by AMSOIL. The BD steering brace is incredible, man. That really makes sure that the gear coming out of the steering box does not move around at all. What's pretty cool is they actually give you this extension that goes into a greasable bearing that basically supports it with all the turning that a part like that sees. And then of course, doing the upgraded drag link and tie rod bar makes a world of difference, because you're not fighting 2 bars to do 1 task. And another bridge. She doesn't quite have full temp in her yet. The trans is still a little bit cold, so that was just, you know, casual 25%er. Yeah, so I knew this AZA auto wheel was cool, but now it's not only cool to grab, it's cool to drive. So there you go, boys. That's a wrap on what is probably the best mod that I've ever done for overall drivability improvement. And I'm shocked at myself that I didn't do it sooner, truthfully. So Jake's jumping an 8-ball now. We're actually gonna get it back on the lift, and we are gonna be making some changes to it, small ones. The big obvious one is the fact that it needs new tires. We've had new 420Vs sitting around for quite a while, so we're gonna strip the 22x12 concave Nemesis off, get those over to E-Town Auto Works, and get those new 420Vs mounted. I also may or may not have had a little bit of fun the other day, which also added probably about 35,000 miles of wear in all of about 10 or 15 seconds over the course of 2 power sliding burnout spin sessions. And then last but not least, we are gonna get up underneath and grease that steering linkage brace. There's a little grease cert on it. That way, when it's moving around in that bearing, it's got some lubrication. We definitely don't wanna wear that out, because otherwise it's just going to reduce our steering quality. And then that brings us over to Ghost. All of those mods are on this truck to do exactly what we just did here. The 4th gens are a little notorious, as I had mentioned in the giveaway overview video, of having some steering pull, but this truck doesn't have that at all. Even with big old 14-inch wide wheels on it, this thing drives like a dream. And the coolest part about Ghost is it's a sleeker, sexier, newer, more comfortable version of 8-ball that you could be taking home with $30,000 cash on top.